Hi, my name is Shirley Bernstein. Son Jay is doing this gigantic interview and viewing. And
Tell us your name and where you lived in 1938 and
well, the name was Shirley Gross, and my sister, of course, Rosalind Gross. We uh, we lived probably. Uh, I'm just trying to think back. In either Georgia Avenue or grandfather's four-story dwelling.
and do you remember the 1939 World's Fair in New York City?
I remember it as a child, as a youngster going to school. We were bused with school, or we brought our brown bag lunches, and it was a very exciting time because they took us to visit the 1939 World's Fair, and we saw many of the exhibits that were fascinating. The City of Light,
What's that?
run by General Electric.
What's the City of Light?
Well, they showed you a future panorama of what might come to pass with uh, electricity, with I don't think those years they even thought about rockets or what would happen in the future with space. But it was interesting. I think they opened children's eyes to possibilities of where they lived in the future.
What else do you remember then of the fair?
Not too much. We remember the Heinz exhibit. They gave out these little pickles. you know, they they took us, I'm sure, to many of the exhibits that time would allow. So we have a general idea of where we had been, and it was very well done, very beautiful, and then later on, of course, it was followed by future um, fair,
Do you
World's
remember
Fair.
when World War II came to New York City? Where were you?
We lived in, as I say, my grandfather's four-story um, tenement area in Brooklyn, and and at the time, I remember we were apprised of the um, sirens going off in the event they felt there was any either for test purposes or if there was going to be any problem. And my father had volunteered as a civilian defense worker.
What's his name?
His name is Saul Gross. Uh, um, our son, your brother, our son Saul was named after my father,
What did he
my
have to
late
do
father.
as a warden?
He would go. He would be assigned a certain area of the neighborhood, and he would wear a band around his arm, and they had the hard hats they were given, and he had a flashlight, and I guess their job was to, because of the fact that the lights were going to be going out, and they had to patrol a few streets or a certain area as air raid wardens, they were called. And air raid wardens would probably be the proper name. They saw that everyone who was on the street got off the street at the time, and I think it only lasted a few minutes. Maybe a half hour, maybe less. I would say 10, 15 minutes.
Where was this?
Just in the general area
What city?
where we lived. We lived in Brooklyn, New York. I'm sure they had other tests going on elsewhere.
Were you scared?
No, but we were made to feel aware, that uh, this this feeling of this we could have a problem.
How old were you about, or what grade were you in World War II?
Well, when I graduated from high school, I was about 17, and I think it was around 1945 maybe six that I had graduated, and the war was, still probably at its height.
Okay, thank you
That's
very
it.
much.